Good morning. Morning, Paramus Catholic. Welcome to Geometry Honors. Uh, we're going to take a look. I hope everything's going well, by the way. Uh, Appreciate it. I think folks are submitting assignments. I'm doing my best to glance at the responses. In some cases, take a good look. And for instance, even here on the homework 323, there's an answer key that's attached to our classwork today, beginning class today, a homework answer key for 323. I'd like you to take a look at it. When I looked at some of the submissions, I thought we did fine, but there were a couple problems where more than a few people missed out, and I just want to point out. Maybe we'll go over a few of those problems. One of them was number 2. In fact, 2, 4, and 5 I marked off as possible problems because they all involve a person and their eye level being different. So you have to account for that. It's a little tricky, but I will do a few of them. But right after this, I'm going to give you a summary assignment for 8.3 and 8.4, and I'd like you to submit it. In fact, I may ask you to submit it by 2 o'clock today, and I'm going to grade it for accuracy. See, all along any assignment you give, if it looks like you did it earnestly, I'm going to give you credit for the assignment, but I'm not grading it exactly. I may make a comment to you and send it back to you and say, hey, look at problem number 3, or this is the reason the answer to number 4 is different. But today I'm going to ask you more or less honor system to give it a try, and I'm going to grade it for accuracy. It's going to be like out of 10. And we're going to see how it works. Now, do not panic. You can use the material available to you. I'd like you to do the work, though, on your own without contacting a friend. So obviously, it's a little bit of the honor system. But let's see how it goes. It's our first attempt at grading something for accuracy in this week or so. So don't panic. Not going to alter things dramatically. It's my first test of grading for accuracy. Number 2, homework assignment. A student can see a water tower from the edge of a soccer field at San Lobos High School. The edge of the field is about 110 feet from the water tower, and the water tower stands at a height of 32.5. So here's the field. We've got the field at 110, and the water tower, right? The water tower up here is 32.5. Okay? Now, this person is watching, and here's where the twist comes in, just to let you know why your answer might look different on our answer key. What is the angle of elevation if the eye level of the student viewing the tower is 6 feet above the ground? Now, here's the ground. If I were to put the person here, it looks like they're standing underground. So what I'll do is, just for demonstration purposes, move them 6 feet up, right? 6 feet. I just moved them 6 feet up so that our angle of elevation is going to come from the eye level to the tower, okay? Eye level to the tower. So here's the triangle that we're going to be focused on right here. This is the triangle we're going to be focused on, the one from the eye level. So this is still 110, but this is no longer 32.5. This distance is 32.5, but what would that make this distance if this person's eye level is 6 feet up? You would subtract 6 from that, right? So this would be 26.5. And that's the key to answering the question, what would be the angle of elevation from the eye level? So if you didn't get that, don't panic. Even in today's assignment after this, I don't think I have I'm sure I don't have an eye level problem, but I didn't want you to see it. So if we're looking for this angle measure here, this is the triangle we're working on. We've got opposite and adjacent, so everybody's now, I'm pretty sure, pretty comfortable. Opposite, adjacent, opposite the angle adjacent to the angle, that's the hypotenuse. Tan tan of the angle is 26.5 over 110. 26.5 over 110. So see that? So now in the calculator we hit second tan, 26.5 divided by 110. And the angle measure, this is an angle measure we're going for, don't forget. 13.5, 13.5 degrees. Okay? So a little twist to the problem because they have this eye level question involved. So you can take a look at that for a second. Okay? Now, I'm going to look at number 5. Problem number 5. Okay? 5 is a similar problem. At least it appears they attempted to give us a picture here in number 5. Right? You see where they gave us the picture in number 5? Lucia is 5.5 feet tall, 5.5 feet tall, standing on the roof of a building that's 80 feet tall. She spots a fountain at a ground level that she knows to be 122 feet away. Now, I'm glad they drew the picture because they didn't say, oh no, there it is, I'm sorry, 122 feet away from the base of the building. So they made that clear that it was the base of the building, not 222 feet away from her. Okay, what is the measure of the angle of depression formed by Lucia looking down and her line of sight to the ground? So this is problem number 5, and they gave us the picture. So they went a long way to helping us out here, right? So we have you can see the picture of the building is 80 feet, but when you throw in Lucia, I don't mean that, sorry Lucia, when you put Lucia up here at 5.5 feet, right? 5.5 feet for this eye level here. Okay, now Lucia's going to look down. Angle of depression. Don't get close to the edge there, Lucia. So the distance we're dealing with there is looks like 85.5. Is that correct? 85.5. Okay. So here's our triangle that we're dealing with. Lucia's looking down. What is she looking down at again? She spots a fountain at ground level that she knows is 122 feet away from the building, 122 feet. And there's Lucia spotting the fountain water. All right, there's the fountain. Lucia looks like a plant. So we have enough now to answer the question. We do have enough here. We've got a full length here to this. So here's 90.5, right? 90.5. How did we get 90.5 in this triangle? 80 plus 5.5 Lucia. We know this is 122, and they want to know the angle of depression. Not this angle. That's the angle of depression. I know I've been emphasizing that. But the angle of depression is formed by a horizontal and looking down. Elevation is formed by a horizontal and looking up. There's a low budget visual aid. Haven't provided one of those in a while. Well, maybe this whole thing is a low budget visual aid. So let's take a look. This is angle X. Now, all along, we've been saying, well, if that's angle X, so is this. They're the same measure because alternate interior angles are congruent when lines are parallel. So we could use that and solve. Okay. You could do an upside down triangle here. Okay, some folks I saw did that. And this would be 122, right? This would be 90.5, and you'd get the same answer. So what are we dealing with? Opposite, adjacent, so we're back to tan again. Tan X is 90.5 over 122. 90.5 over 122. How did I do with that? Okay. So you hit second tan at 90.5 divided by 122. I just wanted to double check. Why did I? Oh, the building's 80 feet tall. Well, there you go. I messed up the whole problem. Okay, I just messed. People are looking at me like I'm crazy. I'm sorry. From here to here is 85.5. Sorry, I'm looking at my notes here, and I'm saying, why do I have that written like that? Right, the height of the building, 85.5 over 122. So you do second tan, and it comes out to about 35 degrees. About 35 degrees. Depends on how you round, right? About 35 degrees. Sorry about that. Glad I made that mistake. Some folks might be looking at that going, oh boy, this guy's lost it. He's not adding correctly. But did you see where I made that mistake? From here to here is 80 plus 5.5. 85.5 was the number. Okay? So that's problem 5. It accounts for some eye level issues, and I don't know if how that helps you, hurts you with the eye level question. And let's see if I can redeem myself here on problem. The other eye level problem was 4. Am I right? Mountain bike trip. Okay, number 4. Let's see, number 4. Again, we're reviewing homework 323. Problem number 4. Another eye level problem. Okay. Mountain bike trip. Nabucco stopped on the canyon floor to get a good view of the Twin Bridges. Nabucco is standing about 60 meters from the base of the cliff. Okay? 60 meters from the cliff. So Nabucco and 60 meters from the base of the cliff. And here's the cliff over there. Same kind of problem. Okay. And the natural arch bridges are about 100 meters up the wall. If her line of sight is 5 meters above the ground, so this is 100, right? So line of sight is 5. This distance there is 5. So our angle, they're looking for the angle round to your nearest degree. What is the angle of elevation to the top of the bridge? So here we go. We're looking for that angle of elevation. This is the triangle we're focused on to get the angle of elevation. The angle is formed from eye level to the top of the cliff or bridge. I'm not sure how they're doing that. Now, what does that mean? Well, the cliff here is 100, so I'm going to change the picture slightly. Eye level is 5 feet, so this side length in this triangle is going to be 100 minus 5, or 95 feet, right? 95 feet. The distance is still, from Nabucco to the base of the cliff, is 60. So this is what our problem looks like. Again, we'll ask you to draw a little sketch of the, and everybody's done that, by the way, when they turn the assignment in, they drew a little sketch. Even if something as simple as this, to help explain their answer. By the way, opposite adjacent, back to tan. Okay? Tan of x, 95, divided by 60. Second tan, 95, divided by 60. I got a degree of about 5.5, 5.5 degrees. 5.5 degrees. Had that come out. Okay? So those are 3 problems on the answer key that we just did. And I wanted you to see them because they threw in a little twist. The others don't shift the triangle at all. These shift the triangle because of this shifting eye level. Okay? So take a look at your answer key for the other answers. It could be fine. I'm going to attach an assignment that I'd like you to have done by 2 o'clock. Now, again, there's technical difficulties. We're working through it. I'm extremely patient with it. I hope you're extremely patient with me for the same reason. We want to move along. Tomorrow, come up with a new idea. We're going to use trig to find areas of triangles.